I'm super excited about today's episode. Today we're going to take a look at 20 great stocks right now at great prices. Like many of you, I put money to work into the market every single week. And every single week, I'm either looking for a new position to add or looking for positions to add my overall exposure to right now. So these 20 stocks have actually passed to both of my criterias. The first criteria is they have gone through some form of screening, a fundamental analysis to make sure that the company is doing good, that the company is growing at great levels. And the second thing is they are currently at prices where they're not overextended from their moving averages, giving me a great buying opportunity right now. So if you guys are not familiar with this series, I try to do this at least once a week where I just pretty much show my watch list of what stocks I'm looking at. And then from this watch list, I then decide what to purchase and add into my portfolio. And welcome back to the channel. My name is Jose Najarro and I am a self-taught investor. And before we begin, make sure to smash that like button. It helps so much with the YouTube algorithm. And if you want to know when I buy or sell a stock, make sure to go to the pinned comment or the descriptions. I have a link to my Discord channel, which is free to anybody that wants to join. I post every time I buy and I post every time I sell there. You should also see a link to all my other social platforms. Make sure to follow me there as well. Also, don't forget to sign up on Webull. If you sign up following my link and deposit $100, we both get a free stock. I think right now they're doing a special where we get 2 or 3 free stocks at the moment. And if you want to learn more about becoming a better investor, make sure to check out my Patreon. I'm releasing a lot of educational content in there. I just finished my first series, which is an introduction to the financial statements. And my next series will be more advanced in those financial statements. We looked at the income, at the balance sheet, and the cash flow, what I'm looking at, and what exactly everything means. So make sure to check out my Patreon as well. So the first company we're going to take a look at is Adobe. And these stocks, like I mentioned, they are right now in no specific order. I think they're in alphabetical order, but it's not in any of my own ranking. So here, what I'm looking at, all these stocks have gone through some form of screening. For them to even enter into my portfolio, they have to either have gone through fundamental understanding of the business, future growth of the business. And what I'm looking at right now is how the stock price overextended. We have seen right now there's a lot of sectors that have been pulled up so much that have been overstretched. And even though I'm a long-term investor, I like to get in at great values as well. So all these companies, like I mentioned, have met my criteria of being great companies. Now I believe they're sitting at strong stock prices. So we're going to see, 1, are they overextended? 2, are they sitting at strong volumes? So the first company we're taking a look at is Adobe, right now sitting at $476, all-time highs of $536. First thing we're seeing is they are sitting at moving average. We're taking a look here at the 20-day and 50-day EMAs. Those are my green and yellow lines, and then my red line is my 200 EMA. We're seeing a strong volume within the stock price that it's out right now. Adobe is a software company. Adobe currently has a market cap of $228 billion. The second one we're taking a look at is Amazon, and surprisingly, Amazon is not on my portfolio right now, but I think it is time for that to change. I do believe this is going to be one of the few that are going to make it into my buy list. Tomorrow, when the market opens, I'm gonna end up deciding about 3 to 4 of these 20s to which I purchased. But maybe you guys might see other companies that you guys like instead of the ones I like. But Amazon right now is sitting at $3,100, all-time high of $3,552. First thing we're seeing is no, it is not overextended. It is sitting here in its moving averages. The other thing I'm seeing is we're seeing a lot of volume here within this low $3,000 range. So it's giving me, I believe, a great buying opportunity. It's just been pretty still for some time, and this is pretty insane, right? There's a lot of companies right now that have gone up 100, 200% in the past 3 months. Amazon at the beginning of the COVID did pull up a lot, and look what happened afterward. It didn't drag down like many people believed it was going to do. It actually just been pretty still over time. And right now, I do believe that not many eyes are looking at Amazon right now. People are looking more at the EV stocks. People are looking more at IPO stocks right now. That is giving great opportunities outside of those where everybody's looking at. The third one we're going to take a look at is Beyond Meat, BYND. Right now it's sitting at $137, all-time high of $197.50. So we can see definitely a nice pullback, a lot of volume at where it's sitting right now. And we can see it's not overextended from its moving averages. It's actually sitting in almost all three of its moving averages. Beyond Meat, for those that are not familiar, is in the food industry. It sells the plant-based protein, the plant-based meat, to say the least. So it's definitely a market that we're seeing a lot of popularity right now, pretty much in the overall world with the change of diet. So a nice one with strong growth as well. Next, we're going to take a look at CRM, Salesforce. They have just bought Slack. So most of the time when a company acquires another company, the company that is doing the purchasing takes a nice hit, and CRM has taken a big hit. It's actually sitting now at its 200 moving day average EMAs, and that usually when they're sitting at those levels and we're still seeing strong growth, it is definitely a great time for me to enter. So I do believe this will be another one that is gonna make it in the stocks I purchased this week. This is CRM, and right now it's sitting at $222, all-time high of $284, current market cap of $203. So CRM is in the customer relationship management business. The next company we are gonna take a look at is Corsair, the gaming company, the one that sells peripherals. This is ticker CRSR. This is a recent IPO. All-time highs of $51.37, but right now it's sitting at $34.87. So it's definitely pulled back a nice amount of time. It is definitely sitting around this 20 EMA, so that's great. And we can see a lot of volume within this $34, $35, and we're seeing that it's not breaking those levels at the moment, which I'm liking. Corsair, like I mentioned, is in that gaming market, in that hardware market, and some of the products that they're selling are for content creators like myself. There's a product that I just purchased from them that actually is sold out everywhere, and I had to wait a few weeks to get it just because the amount of content creators. So it's definitely right now in a great market, definitely pulled back a lot, and again, it's giving me a nice opportunity to add on. Corsair, I added that earlier this week, or I think last week, I forgot when I mentioned, but I'm thinking about adding some more right now. Next, we have Facebook, ticker FB, right now sitting at strong volume area, sitting at $277, high of $304. This is another one, as we can see, like Amazon, these big giants, they pulled up a lot during the beginning of this when everybody was going into the e-commerce, into the social platforms. And now everybody has seemed to forgotten about them. And since September, they've been pretty quiet. And because they've been pretty quiet, they're usually what many consider pretty boring, and people don't like to buy them. And I believe it's always great to do what other people are not doing. So Facebook is one happening right now, right? They are thinking of the current legislation news have talked about splitting up WhatsApp and Instagram, but the stock price hasn't really been affected by it right now. So it seems like the danger of that happening is very, very low at the moment. Next, we're going to take a look at one of my tier ones. Actually, Facebook isn't a tier one for me as well. So this is a second tier one, is Huya. Huya has been pulling back like crazy. Since September, it's actually pulled back from its all-time highs of $30.62. Right now, it's sitting at exactly $20. Definitely sitting at strong volume areas. For those that don't know, Huya is a live streaming platform in China, one of the biggest places with the biggest gaming markets right now. Again, we are seeing a nice downtrend on Huya, but for me, my long-term thesis have not changed, and this is still a tier one for me. Next, we're going to take a look at JD, the e-commerce, which with very, very high innovation abilities, in my opinion. JD is sitting right now at about $81, all-time highs of $92.77. Again, it's pulled back a nice amount. Unlike Amazon, it has seen a bit of an uptrend, but it's been pretty quiet as well. We can see it's definitely sitting in a nice volume area, and like I mentioned, this is ticker JD, market cap of about $108 billion. Next, we're actually taking at another tier 1 stock in my portfolio. This is Microsoft, ticker MSFT. Very similar to Facebook, right? These are companies that have been kind of forgotten right now, and that's what I'm really liking. We can see the stock price hasn't moved, so because of that, I feel like so many people say they're long-term investors, but when you look at, people are probably saying, hey, I bought in July and the stock price hasn't moved, so this is a horrible investment. I mean, 4 months, 5 months, that's not long-term for me. For me, I'm looking at 5 years. So this is still a short-term movement, and I'm liking how it's just creating this volume price. This is where a lot of people are buying and giving me a nice support level for the future of this company. This is ticker MSFT, right now sitting at $210, all-time highs of $232. Next, we're going to take a look at one in the EV market. This is one that I've been talking about for a long time. I think since the pre-20s, I think, maybe even in the teens. This is Niu Technologies, NIU. They focus in the scooter EV market, and they're hitting right now China, but they're also international in Europe and other countries. Strong growth here. And this is one that, yes, I believe it's not overextended compared to all those other EV stocks that we're seeing. Again, just because the other ones I'm saying are overextended does not mean I believe there are bad investments. Just for me, my risk tolerance is not there for me to be willing to buy at those prices. All-time high for NIO is at $37.44. Right now sitting at $28.32. This is ticker NIU. And right now, I do believe ARK is actually buying. I think in the past 2 days, they've actually increased their positions dramatically. So I do believe right now, the two that I'm really leaning to are going to be Amazon and CRM. There might be two more that I may be looking at, and NIO might be one that is making that list. Next, we have another one in the gaming industry. This is Netease, ticker NTES, a gaming company. They are partnership. They're again a company in China, but they are partnership with great companies like Activision. I do believe they have they're creating the Diablo game with Activision, and they created a few expansions with them. So they are strong leaders in the gaming market. Right now, it is not overextended, sitting at strong prices. Current price of $87.37. Sitting at a high, the all-time high was $103. So it is down close to 20% from its all-time highs. Market cap right now is $61 billion. Next, we have another tier 1 stock here, Nvidia. A lot of my tier 1 stocks are making this list. Nvidia, ticker NVDA. Very similar to Amazon, very similar to Microsoft, very similar to Facebook. Since September, they haven't moved much, and I'm liking that. It's giving me opportunities to buy dollar cost average on a weekly basis. So right now, sitting at $519, all-time high of $589. A nice pullback, sitting at its 20 and 50 EMAs, and sitting at strong volumes. Next, we have a company that I just did a video on, and all these companies that I'm mentioning right now, I have done a video on and done some form of fundamental analysis on them. Make sure to check out those videos if you guys want to learn more. Next, we have Pluralsight. This is an online educational platform for those wanting to better themselves in the IT world, in the coding world. Pluralsight is ticker PS. Current market cap of $2.26 billion. Right now sitting at $18.91. All-time highs of $22.69. That is not all-time highs. That is all-time high in the past year or so. I do believe it has higher prices right now if we take a look at the true all-time highs. But it's definitely sitting at a strong volume area and is sitting around its moving averages. Next, we have another one. Actually, this is another one of my tier 1. Tencent, ticker TCEHY. This is the gaming giant. They own Riot Games. They own Epic Games. They own portions of Sea. They own portions of Huya, portions of Doji. They own so many. They own actually ownership in Spotify, ownership in Activision. This is one of the giants right now And this is, like I mentioned, ticker TCEHY, current market cap of $717 billion. I do believe this is going to be one of the next trillion-dollar companies. Right now sitting at $75.84. All-time highs of $81.35. So not much of a pullback, but we can see what happens. This is exactly what I'm talking about. We've seen that Facebook, Microsoft, Nvidia, they've just been pretty quiet around. And this is what happened with Techie early on. It was pretty quiet. And then what happens? That quietness creates some form of support for future levels of the stock. Again, I am more of a long-term investor, so for that, technicals don't play such a huge portion in my ability to purchase or sell stocks, but it is something I do keep an eye out. Next, we have Teledoc, TDOC, right now sitting at $199. All-time high of 253. It's definitely had a nice pullback, sitting at about $29 billion in valuation. Strong volume where it's at right now. That is great to see. And again, we're seeing not overextended from its prices. This is one that I do believe can also be a contender in the stocks I buy this week. Next, we have another one in the plant-based protein company. This is going to be Tattoo Chef. And we can see some of these lines that I have here are lines that I put in earlier episodes. You guys can go check them out. And we can see how this volume VPR that I use really shows us where those support levels. We can see I had this line here, and look exactly what happened. It bounces off. So right now it's sitting at $17.61, all-time high of $28.64, current market cap of $451 million. This is opposed to Beyond Meat, where they sell pretty much raw protein, raw foods. This one is already creating prepared dishes for you to microwave or throw in the oven in the plant-based world. Next, we have TWOU, 2 Inc. And this is an online educational platform. Right now sitting at $34.26. All-time highs of $49.46. Current market cap of $2.5 billion. We can see it is definitely sitting at prices from strong volume. Again, this is a line that I've added earlier on in previous episodes, and it's actually working really well. I'm very happy. This is such a simple indicator to use. And again, I don't use it to trade or buy, but it's one that I look to just keep an eye on how price movement is doing. Next, we're going to take a look at Workday, WDAY. Again, one that is sitting at its moving averages, sitting at strong volumes. This is in the IT service company. Next, we have, I think this is actually there's two more. Next, we have Yext. This is ticker YEXT. Right now, it is sitting at the end of this strong volume around $15.28, all-time high of $20.90. Seeing strong double-digit growth. For those that are not familiar with Yext, this is a $1.86 billion market cap company, very, very small, and it's one that helps create strong search answers for if you're looking for a question about a specific company. Yes, make sure that that answer is found directly to the consumer, answering the right question, not placing ads, but giving answers to the customers based on the products you want to do. Check out their websites. The final company is gonna be Zoom, ticker CM. All-time highs of $588, but right now sitting at $397. Market cap of $115 billion. It has definitely pulled back a nice amount, almost $200 cheaper than that all-time highs. So right now I have no position in Zoom, but looking at this right now, it's not overextended from its moving averages, and it's definitely a nice pullback. Zoom might actually be one of the 3 to 4 companies that I also purchase. So I hope you guys enjoy it. This was pretty much a quick, I want to say a quick dating of each of these stocks. If you want to do more fundamental on them, make sure to check out my catalog. I've talked about every single one of these companies in them in at least 10-15 minutes about them, so make sure to check it out. If you want to know which ones I buy, make sure to check out my Discord channel. It's free to anybody that wants to join, and subscribe, because tomorrow I will post the 3 that I bought and do a quick analysis on them, show what type of growth, show their balance sheet, show what type of movement they're seeing. So take care, guys, have a good night, and see you next time.